But let's get straight to the shits. Have you ever had your booty button pressed? Welcome to Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N. I am your boy Miles, aka the dark skinned Enrique Iglesias, and we're back again for yet another Insecure recap. Season 4, episode 2, we're here. But let's get straight to the shits. Have you ever had your booty button pressed? You don't have to say yes or no, just put the two eyes emoji in the comments. Let's get straight to the shits. I know you saw the title, but cool. We will leave that there. But this episode started with Molly and Andrew leaving some type of event. They're having some type of chit chat. They end up going back to hers, and this is the first time you ever see them be intimate. Yeah, Molly was acting a bit stush at first, but you know, it cuts back to their house, and he's giving her that crouching Andrew hidden cocky. He's giving her that Muay tiger penis. He's giving her that. Listen, I know he's not either Thai or he's not Chinese. I know he's Korean, so let me address that properly. Let me use the right phrases. I'm not ignorant. So he was giving her that Bong Joon-ho, that Kim Jong-il. He was giving her all of that. So in light of that, Issa and Condola, there's still some awkwardness there in the relationship, whatever Lawrence comes up. But they're in the process of securing a venue for the block party, which is 3 months away. And from my observation of this interaction, they both need to be a bit wary of how they speak to each other. I think Condola could have handled that better. She could have just said, when Issa asked her, oh, are you going away for work or is it for pleasure? She could have just said work and just kept it moving so there's no awkwardness. But anyways, we're going to fast forward to a slumber costume party with Kelly, Issa, Molly and Tiffany. And you know, they're just catching up as friends, but again, as I pointed out in the last episode, Insecure, they do a good job of throwing little references of black icons, groups, culture in just little references. For those who know will know, but I need you guys' help. I know there was 4 girls. One, Tiffany was Cleopatra. Kelly was Halle Berry's character in Baps. If you don't know what Baps is, I'll put in a clip right now. Molly was Gabrielle Union's character in Bring It On, you know, black cheerleader. But I don't know what Issa's character was. If you guys know where Issa's character is from, please let me know. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I do or Google it just to pretend like I do know. I actually don't have a clue. But in this slumber party, Molly opens up to them. They're asking her how the whole relationship with her and Andrew is going. She's letting them know, like, listen, he makes me laugh. He's giving me that crouching Andrew, hidden schlongy. But he does. We don't get close because he never shows me that side of him. He never opens up, talks about his family, his feelings. And for the most part, they're kind of saying like, yo, you need to overlook that. What, you're always finding a problem. And as much as I berated Molly in the last episode, I think they were kind of harsh on her in this one, especially Issa. But for the moment, she hears what they're saying, she absorbs it, and she decides, because she wants to get more out of him, she's gonna, as they put her pussy on pause. So she no more sex. She just wants to, you know, have conversations, deep conversations, so that they can find out more about each other, which is fair. I think it's possible to do both, but you know, I'm not Molly. We're gonna fast forward to Issa's apartment. We're gonna see TSA Bay. My guy, TSA Bay. That was a T and a B, by the way. He's come through to do his job, you know. Seems like he's learned his lesson from the last episode. It's just straight missionary. Hey, missionary is underrated in this life, you know. I'm not gonna turn this conversation into that, but straight up. But anyway, he's giving her that work. You know, he makes her come, and then he says to her, like, well, listen, do that little thing that I like. And she's like, what's that? And he said, yeah, press my booty button. Like, boy, TSA Bay is freaky. But what was funny about this scene, when she's trying to reach around, she's just trying to, cause he's so big and she can't get her arm around him, she has to stretch. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. But you know, I'm not one to judge what anyone does in the bedroom. If that's what pushes your button, no pun intended, do you. But that said, after it's all said and done, he says to her, like, actually, hold on. There was a condom before, but there's none now. And that's a surefire way to kill a mood. And now they're scrambling around the room trying to find her, looking under the covers, looking under the pillow, looking under the table. It's not there. Issa goes into the toilet and puts her foot up on the toilet, and she's got the mirror shining up in her coochie. Hilarious. It ended up being inside and it splashed on the mirror. That was the disgusting scene, but hilarious nonetheless. But in that scene, you know, sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes it feels so good. You have to check and see if the condom's still on. that could be a fatal error. We're gonna fast forward to Lawrence is hanging out with Chad, and I think Frederick is his name, Tiffany's husband, and he's bouncing off them, trying to figure out what he should do about this whole Issa and Condola, their friends. What should I do? Listen, never take advice from Chad, but he's one of the most hilarious people in the whole series. But they say to him, listen, you have to shut this down, because this is gonna come back to bite you eventually. Because Issa knew you when you were a bum, and now she's gonna be feeding on all this. They're gonna be joking about you all the time, in his head anyway. So he's thinking to himself, I need to sort this out. I forgot to mention, in the costume party, Molly wanted to confide in Issa privately, but she said, no, don't worry, later we will be able to do it. So we'll meet up for dinner and we'll have a chat. So fast forward to the present. Condola and Issa have met up for drinks or food or whatever. Molly has come later and she's like, oh shit, like I wasn't expecting to see Condola here. There's a bit of awkwardness, awkward group hug. Condola's like, oh, don't worry guys, I'm gonna leave now. But Issa is insistent for her to stay. She's like, don't worry, oh, it's cool, don't worry. It was just a casual thing anyway, don't worry, you can stay. And Molly's like, oh, yeah, okay. And Condola ends up staying. But I think in this scenario, everyone has a bit of accountability to take. Condola should have kind of read the situation and left, but I don't place as much blame with her. Issa, bearing in mind she had a previous conversation with Molly saying that they were going to have a private chat, should have remembered that and been more respectful to her feelings and not had Condola there or allowed her to leave when she was going to. And Molly, I think she has some jealousy of the developing friendship with Condola and Issa, and now she just feels awkward. And she also feels, because of this, whether she's right or wrong, the distance between Molly and Issa is increasing. But if you guys were in this situation, would you feel comfortable with being friends with your ex's current girlfriend? Or from the other side, like Lawrence's side, would you be comfortable with your current girlfriend to be friends with your ex? Now, in light of the previous conversation he had with his friends, Lawrence goes to see Issa and he basically says to her, I have no problem with your and Condola's relationship. It's cool, but if you could just do me one favor, when you're with her, please do not talk about me. Now, is he overstepping his mark? Is he within his rights, or is he entitled to go and tell his ex, listen, don't talk about me? Is he overstepping his mark? Is he doing too much? But one thing about the situation is we come to find that Lawrence's name isn't actually Lawrence. That's his middle name, and his first name is actually Martin, so his name is actually Martin Lawrence. Another good reference that Insecure love to do. But what's the problem with the name Martin? It's not like his name was like Ashley or something like that. Now, Molly and Andrew have met up. Andrew had the idea of going to a Summer Walker concert, but Molly is more interested in staying inside, maybe cooking a meal and having some type of deep conversation, or even try and make some headway into getting Andrew to open up a little bit more. Now, as I said, she cooks for him, but you guys let me know how you would handle the situation. Say you cook a meal for someone and you actually have put too much salt in it. Would you want them to tell you it tastes a bit salty or it tastes a bit trash, or would you want them just to shut their mouth? What is the correct protocol for this type of situation? While she's cooking, Andrew comes to her and he's trying to get into it, trying to give her some more of that crouching Andrew hidden schlongy. But she's like, no, don't worry, like I just want to have a low-key one tonight. I want to talk and get to know you. So they're sitting at the table. They finished dinner. He's eating a whole plate of that salty gumbo. He must really love this woman. But the conversation goes on to his family and I think his sister, and he tells her like, I really don't want to talk about this. You can read the situation, it's just quite a sensitive subject for him. And she opens up to him and she says like, listen, whenever we talk, we don't really talk about you ever. It's only about me. Why is this? And he gets all in a fluster. He ends up leaving. But before he does, he says to her, listen, you just find a problem in everything, which I thought was very unfair for him to say. But at the end of the episode, he ends up apologizing. But in that moment, it was really unfair for him to say. And at this point, it seems like Molly's just getting it from everywhere. Meanwhile, Issa's on her way to a show with Condola, but she's by herself at this point in time. Before she goes into the venue, she's in the car. She calls Lawrence and says, I'm about to meet up with Condola. Should I tell her that you came to see me, or should I just leave it alone? He says to her, no, don't worry about it. Don't say anything. Now, this is 100% gonna come back to bite him in the future. 100%. In what way, I don't know. But when you're opening the lines of communication and doing stuff with your ex behind your current girlfriend's back, it's a recipe for absolute disaster. Molly's probably going through it right now. She tries to call Issa. By this time, Issa's already in the concert. She could go outside and take the call, but she says, listen, she texts her and says, I'm sorry, I'm in a concert, it's really loud. I'll call you when we get a chance. Now, this chance comes in the form of Issa and Molly going for a hike that they've planned. Now, it really doesn't seem like they've gone out to really walk or do any kind of serious sweating or exercise, because they're both looking very cute in their outfits. Not saying that you can't look cute while you work out, but it seems like the fashion was definitely the top priority in the situation. Look quite cute in the little purple and red and orange outfits with a little twist in the hair and all of that. But in this situation, we come to find out that Schoolboy Q is gonna be the headliner for the block party, which is in 3 months, which makes sense because he is from LA, so it's a local artist. And if you didn't know what that tune was that was playing in that scene, it was Num Num Juice by Schoolboy Q. Now, Molly opens up to Issa and updates her with the situation with Andrew. He said, listen, I tried to have a conversation about his feelings, but the conversation went completely left. Issa doubles down on the stuff that she's been saying throughout the episode and that everyone else has been saying. So listen, Molly, you're finding a problem in everything. Aren't you tired of doing this? I'm tired for you. And I think in this moment you kind of realize that one, Issa is being a trash friend, and two, the eventuality that the friendship is going to come to an end, the blame is not going to be solely on Molly. Issa has a huge part to play in this as well, and that's reflected 100% in this scene, because the reality is Molly is not asking too much of Andrew. And even though she's previously found problems and things that weren't problems, in this situation is completely fresh, completely new. It's very unfair for her to say that. And in that moment, she gets a call from Andrew, and Andrew ends up apologizing for what he did. He said, listen, I apologize for what happened the other night. It's a really sensitive topic for me, and also I find it really difficult to open up to people, but I want to open up to you, but it's just gonna take time. And that's fair, and that's understandable, which kind of gives credence to the thoughts that Molly has. So when the conversation is over, Issa asks Molly, oh, who was that? And she says, oh, don't worry, it was just a work thing. And in that moment, you can see the divide between Issa and Molly increases even more, because Molly realizes that she can't rely on Issa for advice in this situation. And she realizes that even more because straight afterwards, Issa goes on some tirade about TSA Bay and how she had to let him go and how he has 2 kids and had a third one on the way and this, that. And she realizes in that moment, hold on, like I don't actually care about anything that she's saying. Hold on, I might be above all of this now. Hold on, I don't think our friendship is what it was, and the stuff that you're talking about now, I don't have time for it anymore. So you can see the cracks in the friendship appearing. And as I said throughout, you realize that the responsibility of how the friendship is going to come to an end is on both of their shoulders. So it seems all of them in that friendship group are trash friends, except Kelly. Kelly is my G. That was the end of the episode. It was only 25 minutes, but it seemed even shorter because the first episode of the season was like 40 minutes long. But that has been my recap for Insecure Season 4, Episode 2. Don't forget, you have to tell me if you've had your booty button pressed before, but I appreciate you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, share and subscribe. I have been your boy Miles, and until the next video, which should be coming extremely soon,